I've been asked now more times than I care to repeat myself.
That's not a good start.
That's true, though. That's why videos exist. They said, wow, you look so much bigger now than you did the last time. Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you why I was small and now I look like this. But I'm going to explain to you my background so that first of all, you're not like dissuaded with like fantasies about the way that, you know, life works. I have a foundation of muscle that I've built over the years. Now that's there. And I'm gonna show you guys what my history of muscle kind of looked like. So I put together, this is me when I'm 15. I have no muscle development besides what life has brought me from various tasks, such as twisting off the caps to peanut butter bottles.
Or pretending to know how to skateboard.
But why, though?
You like making a fool of yourself.
Shut the fuck up, what?
Hey, I loved that house.
Here's me 2 years later, 17 years old. I've been lifting weights for 1 year.
Why are you making that face?
Because when you're young and really insecure, you do things when people are watching, like pretend you're not flexing while you're flexing as hard as you possibly fucking can.
Is that really what you're doing?
How can you not tell? Look how strained I look.
I don't know.
When's the last time you sat down with your arms rested and you were like,
what happened to your face?
It's like I'm taking an actual shit and I don't want you to know about it. Why are you looking at me? Here's another shot of me at the same age, 17 years old. So you can see by the minimal muscle, like a skeletal muscle mass.
Yeah, but you were all lean.
Yeah, that's the thing though. No muscle plus no body fat makes you look like you have more muscle than you actually have. Look, he's got a nice little does he use steroids? Look at the cuts. They just did that with Tifu, that guy that plays Fortnite. He like takes a picture with his shirt off at the pool and everyone's like, does he take steroids? Question mark? YouTube video? Like clickbait? I mean, his natural max is way beyond that and he's young, so his testosterone's like peaking. Nature is 100% on his side right now. This is me at the age of 20, so 3 years later. I've been lifting now for 4 years. Have not done any altering substances up until this point. I was like always lean, like ripped lean, like sub 10% body fat. But I wasn't big, but because I mean, look, you can see like my chest muscles themselves are not that thick. Okay, here, I am 23, have been working out now for 7 years. I just got through a month and a half at this point of P90X. Here I am, 24 years old. I was doing more cunty modeling shit. At one point I did do some PEDs. I did a pro hormone cycle, so I did it for 4 weeks. I put on a decent amount of muscle that way. I don't believe I've hit my genetic max, so where I'm at is still achievable through traditional means. This ain't hard fact, but there's been studies shown that strongly suggest that your body's natural max can be determined based on things like your wrist and ankle width plus your height and gender and like a couple of other factors. They have an equation for it. So if you can pinpoint where your genetic max might be, it would make it a lot easier for you to have motivation to push to get to that goal, as opposed to just not knowing and then believing you've already hit your genetic max and then it saps your motivation because you're not going to do PEDs and then, you know, so actually having a belief that you have a window of space that you can fill up with natural means of muscle gain is super good for motivation. I want everyone to help me get more money. If you hit the like button, people will get to see the video more because YouTube will detect that it's something that has traffic, and then it'll grow my channel. So that's the only reason I want people to hit the like button. I don't care if it makes me feel good or not. So yeah, if you could hit the like button, even if you hate the video, just because you can, it's easy. All right, I took a year and a half off to play video games and got really bleh. Alright, so this is my before and after. So I played video games for like a year and a quarter and did not work out the entire time. I went from this to this. So, okay, that's day one. Here's day 30. And this is, by the way, completely natural and just eating proper and doing the workouts. And here's day 60. And here's the final result. and that's on day 82. Now, I mean, like, that's obviously not the final result. I'm still alive. So yeah, here's the final, and to compare the two, you can see the difference. I have an Omron body fat calculator that I use as a means of tracking an average, not so much trying to find out what my exact body fat is, because those things are probably pretty shit at being completely accurate. So every day I would wake up, I would weigh myself before I ate anything, after I peed, so that, you know, I could be consistent. You never know how much is in there, right? And then I did the body fat calculator.
So in the morning, I go in the bathroom and I take a piss.
Well, no, you have to say that.
And then I weigh everything that comes out of me,
Well,
so I know how much I lost.
No, that's not what I said. Every morning, I wake up, I go in the bathroom, I pee. I pee so hard. Here's what that looks like.
What, you pee?
Not what I meant.
That's the last thing you said.
Oh, but this is what I meant. Okay, this is what I was talking about.
Oh.
This is my chart. Started 3/22/20. As you can see, the date, the weight, the Omron body fat calculation, the lean mass, and here is each week's average in blue, so I can go by 7-day periods. That way it's not like, oh, the fluctuation between these 2 days from all the carbs I ate made me think I lost 10 pounds of body fat. That way I can compare that number, which will be more accurate in tracking whether the trend is up or down. I have notes about it, like here's the day I went to 3,400 calories, and then I went from there to 2,300. Was eating at maintenance, blah, blah, blah. Here's my notes. Here are my measurements for this day. That way I can track that too. It's really easy to do all of this stuff. It's just a matter of organizing it in a way that you can refer to it and then track what you see. Because it's not hard to input the information once a day. It takes literally 10 seconds to done. Then I have a nice little blueprint of the success and failure that I'm having, and can tweak things based on that. It makes you more informed. Tip 1, don't go too crazy on the calories. You don't want to go too low, and you definitely don't want to go too high. If you have body fat on you already, your body's going to be able to use that to put on muscle, even if you're in a calorie deficit. And even if it's not as much as you would in a calorie surplus, you're losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time, and over the long term, it's going to benefit you more to have lost fat and built muscle. And if that slows down because you've been working out for too long and your body's adapting to the exercise, or because your body fat got low enough where it's not as effective anymore, then, you know, that's obviously something else. But for the majority of people who are trying to get built, you have a lot going for you when you first start out, and you're going to put on muscle rapidly because you're new to it. And if you haven't been working out in a while, but you have that muscle memory and that fascia stretch or whatever, then you're going to be able to get back to your max really quick, because your body's going to be primed for it. All right, so I made this meal spreadsheet. This helped me to see exactly what I was eating in my meals when I could be consistent and eat the same thing every day. Calories, the carbs, the fats, the proteins, and then I have totals at the bottom of each of these. My program I created was based on lagging muscles and advice from people I deemed more knowledgeable than myself. So what I did was every muscle once a week, except for the lagging muscle parts, which for me are my chest and my deltoids, and those would be twice a week. So here's my split, and I designed it this way specifically to space the workouts enough so that after you've done the workout, you have enough time in between before you're going to hit that muscle again for it to fully recover, and that none of them are going to subtract from a workout. For example, if I were to do my triceps before my chest workout would suffer because my triceps would be too tired to be able to lift the weight and would quit before my chest did, and my chest would get an inadequate workout. The same thing for back. If I were to do biceps the day before back, then my back workout would suffer because my biceps would already be torn down from the bicep workout. So what I did was I put biceps 2 days apart from back. I put side delts in a day that it didn't matter. Chest is with triceps on day 5, but after my chest workout, and then you don't hit triceps again until next week. But my next chest workout is 1, 2, 3 days later, giving my body enough time to recover from that workout to be fully rested and ready to go again by then. So that's how I spaced it out for me. If you have different lagging body parts, you can mix and match these. Just try to keep in mind which muscles work You know, when you're doing compound exercises like chest, you're gonna have your triceps come into play. Back, your biceps are gonna come into play. If you're doing shoulder presses, your triceps come into play as well. So if you do that the day after chest, then that might suffer a little bit because your front deltoids are gonna be doing a lot of the work on your shoulder press, and they might be too tired from the chest workout you just did. For bodybuilding purposes, I eliminated my military shoulder press since it works primarily the front deltoids, and because I'm only trying to aesthetically increase my muscle size, I don't need to really work real hard on my front deltoids. I've never done high volume. I've only ever done high intensity, and so I've gotten to where I'm at today through intensity exclusive means. My only supplementation was eating foods that were good for me, and protein shakes and creatine, and I was taking ZMA, which is zinc, magnesium, and B6 or something like that. So it's not like performance enhancing, it's just vitamins that your body uses to make testosterone. So I track my workouts, and I'll show you what I mean when I say that. This is my log of workouts, and then I separate each program by a big black bar so that I know that everything on this side of the bar is that 3-week program, and then I can refer back to it. And then at the very end of the chest, I'm trying to get 8 to 10 reps, and I'm doing it 2 times a week. I'm doing flat dumbbell press for 3 sets, and I'm doing incline dumbbell press for 3 sets, and then I'm doing a burnout set of dumbbell flies. And that is my twice per week, and it ended on 4/12. This makes it really easy for me to go back to see, oh, this was a month ago and I was able to do this amount of weight. Here's the first day's date, 3/25/20, and here's the weight that I did, and this is the amount of reps. Now, I used to do the first set only and realized that you need to know more. So here you see on this program I started recording every set. So my first set's 11 reps, second was 10, third was 8, and that way when I go to the next week at the same weight, I can see that I went up from 11 to 12 reps on the first set. The second set I went from 10 to 13 reps, and the third set I went from 8 to 10 reps. So I can see the increase in strength, and once I have my reps at a high enough range to go up in weight, I move up in weight. So here I did all 3 sets almost above 12 reps. And because of that, I felt confident to move up my weight. So I went up 10 pounds, small increment for chest. I can see now if my strength actually did get better. So here, my first set's 12, stayed the same as my last week. My second set's 10, which is less than my last week. But my third set's also 10, which was the same as my last week. So I know that I got a little bit stronger, and now my body is now adapting to this higher weight. So I do another week, you can see, of 230, and I went up again. I started doing this whenever I went up in weight. I put it as a green number. That way I would know that it was higher than the last week, and I won't have to actually do the math on the numbers, 12, 14, 10. I can just know that it's an increase. So here I am at 230 the second week, increase in strength. I move up again, increase in strength, and move up again. And that's how you get bigger. So I follow that traditional rule of make sure that you're strong enough to do reps this high. Once you are, you can move up in weight until you get to the same rep range, and then move up in weight again. And that's what I did for every program. So here's my chest, my triceps. It says which exercise, the date, which is this bar here. I can take notes when something happened, and this keeps me fully informed so that I'm aware and able to dial in what I want to do and accomplish it, because I have more information to make these decisions based on. Where most people would have stalled out or plateaued, I was able to detect the problem and the reason I wasn't gaining, adjust, and then start gaining again. Be consistent, because that's what everyone always says to do, be consistent. But it's true, you need to make sure that you are progressive overloading so that you do more work each workout, so that you make sure that you're gaining muscle. I am trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. Help me hit 50,000 subs, you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will be sure to make more videos soon.